into finding out how bad this RC really is. We're back down in the shop, working on the Monster Mojave conversion.
Part 2.
Picking up where I left off in the last video, I was able to get these parts in the kitchen sink. Well, should I say I was able to get these parts in and out of the kitchen sink before my wife came home. And that's a pretty important process, or that's a pretty important step. There is still a little bit of, grit junk, which I can, clean out just with screwdriver, whatever. But basically, the parts came nice and clean. One thing I did realize, I thought I had shims to shim out this pinion gear, but I don't. And that's unfortunate because that means I will not be able to properly shim this differential. But that's all right because I have a donor car. So this right here is my Creighton EXB. And I'm going to continue scavenging, I guess, whatever parts are left on this thing so that I can keep my Monster Mojave ripping. So we do have a rear differential that I can scavenge, and we have a whole front assembly and componentry. We got literally everything on this thing that I can scavenge. The one thing that I was curious about, will these chassis braces work on the Mojave? Well, I'm going to find out. But while we're here, let's open up the front differential and see what's going on here, because I think everything is absolutely mint with this front diff, but I do want to pull it apart. And, wow, you know what, man? Gosh, looking at how that is, and literally feeling how free it is. I know this is terrible, but I don't think I'm going to tear it apart. I really don't. Man. I'll take some of the parts off. I just don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? So I probably should have taken this apart the right way, which would have been popping that top screw out. Same thing with this. It would have been better to pop the top screws out to pull things apart, but I took it apart like the cheesy easy way, I guess you'd say it. Yeah. Ah, man. I don't know what to do here. I need so many parts for my Mojave. I don't think I have all the parts anymore because I think I scavenged the parts off of this to put on my Team Corrali, because the Team Corrali wasn't surviving. You know what, man? I actually don't have the parts to rebuild this fully. That's terrible. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and just start pulling some of this stuff apart. I do want to take off this front bumper section, which is, part of the skid plate. And all it is literally 2 screws right there and there. So I'll take those off now. And that should make it so, yeah, pull off the bumper piece. Now, just out of curiosity, I do need to know, like, what's destroyed with this. So I will take off the front bumper assembly. I'll pull off the tape. And just so I can get my eyes on this piece to make sure that I'm ordering or buying the correct stuff. Because I want to be left like I am now without having all the parts I need. Somehow I don't think that's the right screw. Yeah, it's not. It's a blind hole. I don't even know what I'm going after here. The skid plate itself, the skid plate is actually in great shape. Yeah, the skid plate itself is fine. Bumper itself is fine. It's literally this piece that's mangled and destroyed. Now I think this is all one piece, but I'm gonna pull off the tape just to like double check. Yeah, so that is literally just one piece that's a 5 mile per hour bumper protection. So I do know that I need to order this piece. Skid plate's fine, just needs to be cleaned up. That'll be easy to do. Just bring it upstairs before my wife comes home. Bumper itself is mint. That's all fine. Pull over the front suspension. Get a look at this. Gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take off this tower here. Tower's pretty much in the way. And I know that this needs to be replaced anyway. Oh, that one's broken. So the actual mount on this side is broken. I don't know if I've got the mounts. I'll have to check my Jenny's RC. I'll have to check my Jenny's RC care package bag to see if the mount is there. But yeah, I guess every once in a while you're gonna break a mount. So this whole thing is, this is broken, right? See, I'm starting to wonder now. It almost doesn't feel broken. Did I tape it that good to where it's not broken? Did I literally do preventative maintenance? Preventative breakage? This has got to be broken. I'm assuming that's why I taped it. Oh, I tell you, man, the tape, it's murder. This Gorilla Tape is some tough stuff, man. Gorilla Tape, literally. No wonder why they call it Gorilla Tape. I guess I wasn't planning on ever taking the, you know what, it would be cheaper just to go ahead and buy a new piece over what I'm doing here. So that's nuts. So I literally did preventative maintenance, like, or preventative breakage, because this mount is not broken. It does have the little fissures on the back side, and maybe that's why I taped it, but this Gorilla Tape, man, this stuff is insane. Crap, it took me 20 minutes just to pull the tape off. So obviously these screws are specific to the mount, and I'll know that. So I'm just gonna toss them in here. I'm running out of little areas there. Looks like I need like 10 egg crates to pull this thing apart. Alright, so that mount is actually kind of semi in the way to get to that screw. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop the I'm going to go ahead and pop the shocks off just to get these things out of the way. And I am not going to talk for the rest of the video. Yeah, right. You can see that that one's actually bent. This diff is mint. Bearings are junk though. So the diff is mint, but the bearings are junk. So this needs to get completely cleaned. Toss it in the tank. Clean out all this junk. But you can see how well that grease works. Oh, we got some issue. Got an issue. The front diff is junk. So the front diff is actually junk. So there's almost no sense in cleaning that. Man, I didn't realize. This thing went through some serious abuse, man, I'm telling you. So I'm just going to literally just take this whole thing. I'm going to toss this whole thing into the dunk tank. Because I don't know what's going to be left here for parts after I'm done here. There's so much carnage in this truck. And granted, this front diff is original. So that's just a lot of carnage. So like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and throw all these pieces in there. Oh! Oh! We got a broken front arm! Okay. That's why my front end locked up. You had a broken front arm and I didn't even know it. Wow. Alright, so looks like we're going to need a front arm. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, it looks like, look at this other front arm. See, I didn't inspect the arms yet. See how we're looking for this pin. This pin looks bent too. Yeah, it's bent, I think. Oh, no, it's not bad. It's a little bent. But it also could be the grit. Could be the grit in this arm. That's why I said you just take a drill bit and just kind of buzz it through. It does look like it's bent though. Right there. Oh yeah, it's definitely bent. That could be the wrong... yeah, it's definitely bent. Alright, so it looks like... I do have new pins, but it looks like we're going to need arms anyway. Wow, this Mojave is actually turning into quite the destructive piece of truck here. I think I'm just going to throw that in the bin. This is literally junk. So, suppose I could just order a gear. I'll check and see how much the gear is. Gotta make sure that the parts guy orders the right gear here. Hopefully we can check online and see what that's gonna cost. Steering itself is probably fine. I actually do have a brand new unit complete from Jenny's RC. So if this unit was an issue, I do have a complete unit to go ahead and throw in there. And that might be something that I do. This front pin block, looks fine. Well, that hole right there is wallowed out, so that pin block is junk. This piece was obviously junk, so it looks like, yeah, I think we're done with this disassembly. Oh no, I don't know, man. I think the Creighton EXB, I think quite possibly that the Creighton EXB has literally just become a complete donor vehicle. I do have chassis braces, but let's check and see if the Creighton EXB chassis braces fit the Mojave. And yeah, I can already tell that would be a no, a little bit too short. So maybe I can go ahead and check and see how much a EXB chassis brace costs, because I'm not saying that EXB stuff is junk, but maybe it would be good for this chassis to go ahead and maybe have some EXB parts on it. We have to check and see what price is looking like. So I feel like I have a pretty good handle of what parts my Monster Mojave is finally going to need. So let's go upstairs and check it out and see what it's going to need to get this thing ripping again.
So at what point does the RC become a total loss? So I've done a little bit of research. We've got eBay pulled up. You can see if you look up at the tab, we've got 2 eBay carts pulled up. We also have 3 Small Addictions RC, which is a hobby store located in New York, pulled up. The reason why is I want to show you, when you look at the screen, what do you see for a number? So when you look at that number, that's basically what I feel my Mojave is going to need to bring it back to good running order. The next page shows what I would like to see happen with the Mojave. Got a screw pack that I added to it. We have some tires added to it. And we also have a body. That's what I would like to see. So those 3 things are the additional components that drove the price up to what we see right there. Next, we'll take a look at Small Addictions RC. So I did formulate a couple of parts. You can see right here, Small Addictions RC. We have front arms, which we only needed 1. That's $10. We have the input gear, which definitely going to need because it's used and abused. We have 2 of those at $25. Then we have the rear and front differential coming in at $65. We need 2 of those. Then we have at $16. We have the body mount set. That's not even including all the parts that I need. Then you have the little, it's called a skid plate mount set, but it's like the 5-mile-per-hour bumper set. Okay, that's coming in at $13. Then we've got the assembled center diff, which my center diff is wearing. And that's not even including, is that including the bearings? I didn't even see if that was including the bearings. It is. Okay, well, at least it includes the bearings. And then you obviously have the differential case. Now, why the differential case? Well, because over time, if you let your bearings go bad long enough, you start to get deflection in the case. 2 of those at $10 a piece. So we have a grand total of $295.90. So let's call that $300. And that's not everything that I need to get Monster Mojave back up in good running order. So there's your dilemma. What do you see right there? Well, it looks like a brand new version 2 Mojave at $650. But then you've got one more choice. The EXB. So what do? It's a tough decision that you are going to have to make.
Now, I actually hate to say this. I hate to say that this is the last of the Monster Mojave that you'll be seeing on the channel. And that is only because it is going to take way too much. It's going to take way too much in parts. Way too much in money. At what point is an RC literally totaled? So, I've had this RC, I think, for about 3 years now. And it's taken some massive abuse. You also have to take into account that the scale. So the scaleness of things, okay? It's a 1/7 scale vehicle. So maybe you should think about it this way. That the amount of time or the amount of enjoyment that you're going to get out of the vehicle is going to be approximately 1/7 the amount of time that, say, like, you know, driving a truck like Big Black. Driving like a, you know, car like Earl Moorhead drives, those BMWs. If you're a mechanic, you can keep that pulse or you can keep that vehicle going. You can do the chest compressions. You can do the defib every once in a while. Maybe pop a nitro pill, whatever you've got to do. Have an extra cup of coffee to wake you up. But I'm telling you right now, the RC hobby, just like anything else, is normal. At some point, your vehicle is what's called
totally total.
This is RC Guy Garage. I'm sorry for the bad news, but it is what it is. The Monster Mojave is dead.
So at what point do you finally just let go? Finally call it quits? Finally just reach into your own pocket and realize that maybe getting another RC is going to be the best choice? I don't know. What would you do? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Would you go ahead and buy another RC? Or would you spend between, let's say, $400 to $600 to rehab your old, destroyed RC vehicle? Yeah, this is very common in the automotive industry. The same thing applies.